You like that? 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 You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Michael Penix Jr., and we're going to talk about a game that I'm not hearing anyone talk about that I think is one of the best games that any of the college quarterback prospects have played in 2023. So this is a game where if you're just stat hunting and you look at the stats, you're going to go, yeah, that was a really bad game. He had something like 162 yards passing. He was like 46% completion percentage. Believe he had 3 total touchdowns in the game and no turnovers. But you look at that and you're like, that's probably not a great game. But when you put into the context what happened in the game, it was incredible. So this was a monsoon. It was raining like crazy. You know, there were winds that were gusting up to 30 miles an hour. There was a punt that happened in the game where when the snapper snapped the ball, you could see the second it left his hands, the trajectory changed. It went over the punter's head, went in the end zone, ended up being a score, right? Like, this was a wild game, and Michael Penix Jr. was throwing lasers all over the field. You'll see there were a number of drops in this game that Michael Penix was throwing the ball in, and like, he was just cutting it through the wind. There are not a lot of other quarterbacks that had to play in these conditions. A lot of these guys are playing in the South and stuff like that. California, nicer weather. This is just showing what he can do when it comes playoff time, late in the year, when the conditions are not good. He's got those 10.5-inch hands. So we're going to break this game down, and you're going to see some impressive throws. So we got a 2-by-2 formation here. And so fast forward a little bit here. He's setting the protection. And so they're going to run this option route. I think this is an option route with the tight end here. That's why it's not thrown with anticipation down here in the slot. But option route, fits his ball in between 2 defenders here, cutting it through the wind. Seems like not a big completion, but with the way that the rain was coming down in this game, man, like, he was just slinging it all across the field. So we'll be able to see it from the tight here. All right, they're setting the protection. So he gets in here, reads this. He's got this space here and fits it into this tight window. Gets a completion. So this next play here, okay, we got man-to-man coverage, single high. They motion down to this tight formation. And so they're running this spear concept. So there's 2 over routes, okay? So Penix does this little half roll here, okay? So a little half roll. And then throws back from the opposite hash across the field. And look at the spin on the football. You got to spin the ball to be able to throw in this kind of rain and this kind of wind. And Penix just is spinning this ball, throws it here, hits a Dunze, and he can see if we go back. He gets leverage on his guy. The corner's outside leverage since it was tight. The formation was tight here. And he just puts it on him. This is a handoff. Look at the accuracy here. You'll even be able to see it even better from the tight. And to be able to throw with this kind of accuracy in these conditions is just impressive. All right, so half roll here. And look at this. Look at this. This looks like a handoff. Lightly placed with velocity and touch. Right? That's going to be the key thing that we're going to see throughout this video. Velocity and touch. And that's how you have to throw the ball in these kinds of conditions here. Okay? So now they got everybody walked up. Right? Looks like they're sending pressure. I believe this ends up being a sim pressure and they drop some guys out. But either way, he gets this one-on-one matchup out here with Adunze. And so Adunze runs the slant and go. It's a beautiful route from Adunze. But, you know, we got the anticipation clock up here. When it's green, you know that he's throwing with the anticipation. We always measure when he separates to throw. So he's separating to throw, and Adunze is not yet open. The corner is still over the top. Adunze doesn't look back for the ball. We got 0.63 0.3, so over half a second here, anticipation. And then again, look at the ball placement here. Like a handoff. And the spin of the football. Boom. Drops it in here in the bucket. And if we rewind it, again, what are we talking about here? Velocity and touch. Lofts it over the defender's head. Impressive throw there from Michael Penix. All right, we'll be able to see it from the tight too. All right, he's signaling out to the receivers, signaling their routes. Gets here, gets the top of his drop, no wasted movement, boom. Throws this thing in there. That is a beautiful football. All right, so on this next one here, again, another little half roll here. So I run these little half rolls. So half roll. And so this one, he lofts it over the defender's head. Again, velocity and touch. Lofts it over the defender's head. Puts it right on him. Again, like a handoff. Hits him right in the face mask. Football is dropped because it's pouring out. So we'll be able to see it. Again, from this angle, half roll. And then again, the spin on the football. This is beautiful. Beautiful spin on this football. Puts it right on him. Can't come down with it. All right, so on this next play here, yeah, I believe this one is an RPO, and so this is one of the plays where there's some positives and some negatives on this one, and we'll see in another clip how he cleans this up. So pokes the ball out there, right? Gives the mesh point, throws with the anticipation, really good anticipation here, but he leaves it hanging inside. Okay, and so sometimes when you make these anticipation throws, you know, the rhythm and the timing can end up being off, and I think that's what happens here. And so he hits the mesh point, and we'll talk a little bit about this on an RPO on the next play, on a future play. But this is a really good job of throwing with the anticipation. Like, we'll clean it up. You can clean up the rhythm and the timing of things, but it's very hard to find guys that are anticipatory throwers, and guys that don't throw with good anticipation, it's hard to train them to do it. It's very hard to do. So this is a good job by Penix here, throwing this ball with some anticipation. All right, pokes the ball, mesh point, incomplete pass. But we'll get back to that in on a future clip. Okay, so this one, we get this 3-by-1 formation here. And so this one, I would have liked to see him hit the out route here, okay? So he's reading this side. He's reading the 3-receiver side. And I would have liked to see him hit this out route here. There's all this space, and you can see it pre-snap too. He's got all this space here. There's no way that this guy is going to be able to make a play on the ball here. So I would have liked to see him throw that one. Even though it's 3rd down, he wants to get the chunk play. But, like, you know, you just live to fight another day. Throw this ball out here. But he holds on to it and then tries to make a play and puts it right on his receiver. Throws this one a little bit high, but I like the decision here to throw it high, right? Throw the ball high. If it's tipped or anything, you know, it's going to go out of bounds here. So it's a safe throw. But the most important thing here is, again, remember, it's raining like crazy out here, okay? It's raining like crazy. It's gusting like crazy out here, the winds. And look it, from the opposite hash, throws this football on the run and puts it right on him, right? Really impressive throw, and you'll be able to see it from the tight as well. The spin on the football. That is the theme of this video here, man. He is spinning this thing. Gets out here, escapes the pocket. Boom! Like, that's an impressive throw. If we're just looking at traits, right? Don't love the decision. Don't love how the play ended up developing. But if we're just looking at traits, the way that he threw that ball, impressive. Impressive stuff here, okay? All right, so this one is an RPO as well, and I like this play. I like this play, and I like what he does on this one much better. Again, so RPO, we got all these guys up on the line of scrimmage. We got this corner off inside leverage, so he knows he has the advantage to throw this little speed out here. And I like what he does here by not doing the mesh point, okay? So you'll see a lot of quarterbacks do this. I'm not a quarterback coach. I'm not in the quarterback room. But as a defensive guy, I've never understood with these RPOs the obsession, if it's going to mess up the rhythm and the timing of the play, with doing the mesh point. Just take the ball and throw it, because as a defensive guy, right, we're teaching these guys up front. We're not teaching them look at the quarterback and see where he meshes. We're saying read the guards first. The guard is going to give you your run pass read. So once you get run action from the guard, these guys in the front seven are going to react. So who cares about the mesh point? You've got the leverage out here on the corner. The corner is the only person that you really care about reading, because you're not going to run the ball into this. So screw the mesh point. Catch, step, throw. Good rhythm, good timing, puts it right on his guy, and he puts him in a position where he has a rack opportunity. So now he can break a tackle, spin, and pick up a first down. So I really love seeing this type of stuff. In-game learning, in-game adjusting from quarterbacks. Do you make the same mistake twice? Michael Penix does not make the same mistake twice. I love this play. This is a really good job here of catch, step, throw, give my guy an opportunity, give him space, give him separation, and let him go make a play, and he gets a first down. Impressive stuff right there, right? So this play right here, one of the most impressive throws of the game. I would say this is in the top 2 or 3 throws. We're going to talk about a couple other ones here, but this one is really impressive. So we've got single high here, man-to-man coverage. They're running slot fade with the hitch out here. So he knows he's got a Dunze one-on-one, and so he throws this ball again with velocity and touch, right? So normally you're going to want to get some air under this throw, but the ball is a little bit flat, and he has to throw it flat. He understands that because the conditions. You can't loft the ball up there and throw a nice, pretty deep ball when the wind is gusting 30 miles an hour. You got to cut that thing through the wind, but you still have to have a degree of touch so that the guy can run under it, and he does the perfect mixture of both from the opposite hash. Opposite hash throw here. There's a big-time, big boy throw to the field, and again, the accuracy, like a handoff, drops it right in the bucket. That is a beautiful throw. And then there's even more additional context that we're going to be able to see from the tight. This is a super impressive play here. This is the last piece of it. He catches the ball. Look where his eyes go. He looks one way to get the safety's momentum going the other way, and then throws it back across. And you'll even see if we watch it again, right? The little just like subtle head nod the other way to get the safety to move in that direction. We can see here. Look at the subtle. Boom. Bang. Drops it in the bucket. Touchdown for a Dunze. That's impressive right there. Cutting it through the wind. Like, this is awesome stuff, all right? So again, we're going to see some processing here. So this is a full field read. So on this side is going to be a zone concept here. And if it's not zone, he's going to go to the man side, okay? So it's a full field read. They send the back out. They see, okay, it's man-to-man coverage. All these guys are locked on. Penix can see that. So this zone concept isn't going to work, right? We got this triangle going here. That's not going to work against man-to-man coverage. So now he goes back to the man side. And if we rewind, we can see the concept out here. It's fade out. Fade out is a man beater. And he throws this ball, he throws the fade, and look at the placement on this one. Drops it right on his face mask. And again, it's dropped, okay? So let's rewind that and let's just watch the full thing here, okay? So exit motion. Eyes go to the zone side, doesn't like it, comes back to the man side, resets, fires, drops it right on a Dunze. But, you know, crazy rain out. Can't catch that football, and we'll be able to see it again from the tight. We'll be able to see his eyes. All right, so catches, looks to the zone side, doesn't like what he sees, comes back to the man side. All right, hesitates a little bit, but either way, it doesn't matter. He drops it in the bucket on his guy, but he's unable to come up with it. All right. So this one here. Okay, so this is another very impressive play. Okay, so all draft season, all I'm ever hearing is that Caleb Williams and Drake May, Caleb Williams, yes, phenomenal. This is definitely true about him. But all I hear all the time is Drake May, Caleb Williams, these guys, two guys that have a feel for the game. That's what I always hear when, people are talking about them. But nobody ever talks about how Michael Penix has a feel for the game. Well, this is the ultimate feel for the game play, okay? And we can put a number on it, okay? So you're going to see this right here, okay? So we got this tight formation here, all right? And so we get a check release from the tight end, okay? So Penix is reading up top here. He doesn't like what he sees up top, right? There's no separation going on out here, and he gets pressure, okay? So he gets pressure on this play. The left guard gets smoked, okay? There's somebody in his face, so he's got to move and get outside of the pocket and throw, okay? But remember, this guy is running a check release. This is not a wheel route. This is a check release. He's running an out route here. And so Penix is under pressure, and he sees his quarterback under pressure, so he goes, oh, okay, scramble rules. Well, Penix throws this ball with anticipation before the receiver even turns upfield, and then he drops it in the bucket, okay? Drops this ball in the bucket in these conditions, this touch throw. And so, again, right, the decision is also really impressive here, okay? The decision here to make a touch throw and drop this thing in the bucket here, because if he leads the receiver, these two oncoming defenders, this guy is going to get crushed, or it's going to be an interception. Somebody's going to be able to make a play on the ball. So he hangs it up there and feathers it between these two defenders, okay? So he's throwing this ball with over a second of anticipation. Gets out the pocket. Receiver, tight end, turns up the field, and look at the tight end's eyes. He doesn't even know the ball has been thrown. He looks up and goes, oh, whoa, the ball is on me, turns back and catches it. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, that's the ultimate feel for the game play. Let's watch it again just in real time. Left guard gets smoked, dodges him, gets out the pocket, throws this bad boy into a tight window on the sideline and picks up a first down late in the game. Like, that is impressive stuff right there, okay? So we'll see it again from the tight. So he's up there. He's changing the protection. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter because the left guard's going to get smoked. They move the front. He dodges this guy. And the last piece of why this is impressive, no legs in it, all arm throw. And then look at the spin on the football. Like, come on, people. This is impressive stuff right here from Michael Penix. Big time, big boy throw right there, all right? So last play here, okay? So big third down. So they have a small lead. This is the last offensive play of the game. If they don't pick this thing up, they're going to kick it back to Oregon State, and Oregon State's going to get an opportunity to try to drive the length of the field and win the football game, okay? So they come out in quads, okay? So he was interviewed and he talked about this play. They came out in quads. The play was designed to go over here. They were going to run this screen pass. They're going to motion this guy down into a diamond, and they're going to have 3 blockers, okay? So what Oregon State does is they match the numbers. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys out here, so it's 5 over 4. And then the safety cheats over. So I don't know what their defense is. I don't know what they're being told to do on this play specifically, but you would think, okay, we got 5 over 4, so you want to get 2 over 1. The safety should come over here. He saw that the safety didn't go over and didn't stay over, that he over adjusted to the formation and he cheated. So now it's 6 on 4. Play's designed to go this way, but he says, you know what? I'm going to trust my guy Adunze one-on-one. Screw the play call. I'm going to throw it to Adunze. And so throws this thing with insane velocity here. 54.5 miles an hour. That is the fastest throw that we have charted so far in our evaluation of the quarterbacks. This is impressive stuff right here. He just cocks back and fires this thing. Let's watch it again. Catch, step, fire, ball game. Michael Penix Jr. Awesome play right there. All right, so we'll see it from the tight angle here. They over adjust, they get confused. This safety should stay over that side. He sees that, he comes over and says, I'm going to throw it to my guy. Catch, step, throw, fire, right on him. Cutting through the wind. Michael Penix Jr. making big plays, winning the football game for his team in the rain, in the elements, in the wind. Like, I know a lot of people are saying, they don't think that he's, one of the best quarterbacks in the draft. Whatever, people can have their opinions on things, but if you feel that way because of the injury history, I think that makes sense. But based off the film, Michael Penix Jr. is a dog. He is one of the baddest quarterbacks in this draft. And if he falls, it'll be the best thing for him because he's going to go to a better team where they're going to have more weapons, where he's going to have a better offensive line. And he's going to have an opportunity to show that he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL draft. It's not about where you picked. It's about how you play. And I think that Michael Penix Jr. has the game to play, to succeed, to start in the NFL. So I'm really excited to figure out where he's going to go in the NFL draft. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all of the draft prospects that I wanted to profile. There's a lot of quarterbacks. If you've been on the channel for a long time, I usually don't profile quarterbacks to this degree, but this is a really good quarterback class. So don't know if I'm going to have the time to be able to get through all the DBs and receivers and linebackers that I want to, but when the draft ends, I will definitely do my scheme fits videos that I've been doing for the last few years. The guys that I think ended up on the best situations and the best teams for them, I will do some videos on those, but I'll continue to try to get through as many breakdowns before the draft. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. So as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.